Caitlin Clark, Michael Jordan, and Larry Bird just broke their silence. What they revealed could change basketball forever. No one saw this coming. Three legends of the game just had a private call: Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Caitlin Clark. Jordan, the ultimate competitor. Bird, the mastermind behind some of the smartest teams in NBA history. And Clark, the rookie breaking records and changing the women's game today. But this wasn't some casual chat or a podcast invite. It was bigger, something that could shake basketball to its core. The question now is simple: what are they planning, and why at this exact moment? Here's what we know. A confidential virtual meeting took place weeks ago. It wasn't supposed to leak, but it did. No cameras, no press, just Jordan, Bird, and Clark talking business, and that fact alone is stunning. Jordan hasn't stepped into basketball matters publicly in years, unless it involved major branding. Bird, famously private, walked away from his front office role long ago. And Clark is still in the early stages of her WNBA career. Yet all three found themselves on the same call. So what could be powerful enough to unite three icons from three different eras of the sport? Whatever it is, one thing's clear: it's not just about basketball. It's about influence. It's about power.
Caitlin Clark's ability to push the envelope, that is turning heads and changing the game. When she stepped into the league, she created a fast-paced, up-tempo style of basketball that not a lot of teams are playing, and at the second half of the season, she ended up turning the Indiana Fever into the #1 offensive team in the league. That is big change.
Caitlin Clark isn't just the most talked about rookie in women's basketball, she may be the most marketable player the WNBA has ever seen. Her jerseys sell out within hours, her appearances dominate headlines, and she's already landed huge deals with Gatorade, Wilson, and Nike. That Nike deal is so massive, some are calling it the WNBA's version of the Jordan brand beginning, but Clark's influence goes far beyond her scoring. She's not just a player, she's a brand, a movement, and a magnet for attention. Her social media engagement already surpasses most NBA stars, and she's drawing in fans who never cared about women's basketball before. For Nike, she represents the future. For Larry Bird, she's Indiana basketball reborn. And for Michael Jordan, she might just be the one to carry his business legacy forward.
Mike with those big mitts, takes the ball, waves it around. Price it where? Where to go?
Give it back to Michael. Fake on the three.
Rebound O'Neal now. Stolen by Jordan from Hardaway. Picked him. Bluffs one at the line. They leave him open.
This isn't just about basketball, it's about power, legacy, and a plan that could shake the entire sports world. Michael Jordan's success after basketball may be even greater than what he achieved on the court. He turned his signature shoe line into a $5 billion a year empire and earns more in retirement than most athletes make in their entire careers. That's why this meeting matters. When Jordan steps in, it's never just about mentoring, it's about building. So what if this isn't just about Caitlin Clark signing with Nike but about her becoming the centerpiece of something much bigger? Imagine a full-scale women's athletic brand, backed by Jordan himself. Not just sneakers, but training academies, apparel, media platforms, and global outreach. Jordan is always focused on the future. And in his eyes, Caitlin Clark might be it.
A part of the reason why Larry Bird was called legend was his brilliance as a basketball player, and the other part were his legendary and vicious trash-talking skills. Bird was a killer on the court. He had a foul mouth, and he wasn't afraid of anybody.
Now let's look at Larry Bird, the quiet strategist. Unlike Jordan, Bird never chased billionaire status. He chased wins. After retiring as a player, he built some of the toughest Pacers teams ever, earning Executive of the Year and even coaching them to the NBA Finals. But here's the key: Bird's connection to Indiana runs deep. He grew up there, played college ball there, and led the Pacers front office for over 2 decades. And now, Caitlin Clark is the new face of Indiana basketball with the Fever. That's no coincidence. Bird may be retired, but he's watching closely. And his respect isn't easy to earn. If he sees in Clark what many already do, vision, basketball IQ, and clutch instincts, he could be ready to step back in. Not as a coach, but as a partner. Picture this: a three-way alliance: Jordan's billion-dollar legacy, Bird's strategic mind, and Clark's energy and cultural pull. Together, they could launch something entirely new. And this would be far bigger than just sneakers or jerseys. This could mean elite training academies, signature gear, streaming platforms for basketball education, interactive apps, or even VR training tools. A full global system for developing young athletes, men and women alike. This wouldn't just be a business that sells basketball, it would create it. And make no mistake, this is about power. For years, women's basketball has been underfunded and overlooked. But Caitlin Clark's rise has already shifted the conversation. With Jordan and Bird in her corner, the ceiling isn't just cracking, it's ready to collapse. What if this trio builds the first women-led global sports platform, one that doesn't rely on the NBA but creates its own foundation from the ground up? Clark's visibility, Jordan's empire, and Bird's basketball vision could form the blueprint to finally put women's sports on equal business ground. This isn't charity, it's investment. And the potential return is massive. A quiet revolution is already underway, and what these three are building could set off a chain reaction across the sports world. We've seen sons of legends enter the league, but maybe the future isn't about family ties, it's about legacy alliances. An icon from the past, a strategist from the middle era, and a phenom of today, coming together to reshape the game, not just on the court, but in the boardroom. Could LeBron do this with Bronny? Could the next Serena team up with Billie Jean King and Venus? This might not be just another project. It could be the prototype, one call, three icons, one future. We don't know the full details yet, but something major is happening behind the scenes. Whether it's a brand, an academy, or a full-scale basketball revolution, Jordan, Bird, and Clark aren't just talking, they're building. And while the headlines focus on scores, stats, and viral clips, this is where the real power plays are being made. So the question is, what do you think this trio is putting together? Could it be the first billion-dollar WNBA brand? A worldwide youth development system? Or even a media company that finally places women's basketball front and center? Whatever it becomes, one thing is certain, basketball will never be the same.